Hi, Steve LeGrow here, once again looking at some of the changes in Meditech 5.66 from Meditech 5.65. In the patient summary, notice the titles under patient problems. You have current visit, medical, family, and social history. We will look at where this data is populated from and also at how to manipulate that data. Moving here to the right side of the screen to the problem list, I will click there to come into a new format of the problem list. Notice as we come into this screen, initially the active problems are highlighted. There is another tab for My Problems, followed by Visit Problems and Past Problems. We'll work our way from left to right. With active problems, this is further categorized into medical, surgical, family, and social history. Any diagnosis on the active problem list under any of these categories will pre-populate or be available to pick from when you go into orders. So these will be the diagnoses that show up listed as active problems. Problems are added down here on the bottom left. Also, problems can be populated here from orders as we add diagnoses associated with them. Problems are easily modified in the screen. Looking here at osteoarthritis, you'll notice there's a comment there that the patient follows with rheumatology. This was done by clicking on the diagnosis, left click, and then on the View Details screen, we have the option to list this diagnosis of osteoarthritis as an active problem, a past problem, or as a deleted problem. And further, within that list of active, past, or deleted problems, do you want it categorized under medical, surgical, family, or social history? And on the bottom, I will left click in the permanent comment box, and it opens up permanent comment where you can type additional information as needed, and it's saved as part of the permanent record. I should point out it also saves the time, date, and name stamp of who modified the data under this heading. So I will exit out of there and exit out of the view detail. And again, looking here, we have medical problems, the status listed here, whether or not it's part of the current visit, whether you want to select it to go under the My Problems page, the approximate time of onset, and of course the ICD-9 code. We can expand this for surgical problems. Currently there are no active surgical problems listed for this patient, but if I did want to add one, I'd come down below to add problems and then search here just like we would for any problem in the database. You'll notice that searching is much improved in the upgraded version. Searching for cholecystectomy, we have many options, and if I want to do family history, I can just start typing family history of cholecystectomy, and it comes up. I have the option to select it, and then immediately I see it listed in my problem list. It is active, and it's already been selected into the subcategory of family history. Its status, current visit, the time of onset, the ICD-9 code, and if I wanted to add a permanent comment, I can do so from this screen as well, and say OK, and then OK there to save that. And you'll notice that family history of cholecystectomy comes up under family history. However, if the patient had the cholecystectomy done, and to diagnose a patient has history of cholecystectomy, you have several options to choose from. Notice they all have the same ICD-9 code. Click OK, and away we go. And now, under surgical history, we have the history of cholecystectomy. Moving further, we will come back and look at family history a little closer in the future. Looking at My Problems, from the list of active medical problems, we can select here any problems that you as a provider are managing individually and maybe not being confused by diagnoses populated in the active problems, where patients may follow with multiple providers and different specialties throughout our system. So moving into my problems, you'll notice it really cleans up the list to just those active problems that I had selected on the Add to My list. Visit problems is a more expanded list of recent diagnoses used for this patient within the EMR. And then past problems is nearly identical to the active problem list. However, they have added medical record diagnoses and deleted problems down here. Once a problem is entered in a patient's database, it is never completely deleted. It simply goes to the deleted problem list, so there is a continuous audit trail for any of these. This would be the screen, the past problems, where a medical history is best built and maintained. It would be here that your chronic medical conditions could be listed. They can also be listed under active medical problems. Your complete surgical history would best be located here, along with social history as well. Family history is better maintained under the active problem list. So that concludes what I wanted to review for this section, and we will look at family history next. Thank you.